How many cats you got? It's two of
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Fine.
them. Could you help? It's a clock on machine.
Are you the judge for Fulton County first appearance? Hello? Hello?
Ma'am, this is open court. We're still in court session as if you was in. Can you please mute until you're being addressed? Thank you.
I'll see if we're there.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bridgewater. Hope you're doing well.
I am, Your Honor. Hope you are as well.
Yes, thank you.
Mhm.
Let's see, the SAP reset date, please.
Going to be October the 14th.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon, Officer Milton. Hope you're well this afternoon.
This is position 24 and Miss McLeod's attorney. And after she's finished, then I'm gonna go and get the other people as soon as I finish with felony court.
Okay, it's a bit before 2 o'clock, so
Yeah.
let me make sure that everyone's on the line before we get started.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put her on mute, okay?
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. For those of you that are witnesses in a case or want to speak on a case, once we get to the cases that that you're here for, I'm happy to hear from you at that time. Please know that this is an official court session, so I need for you all to treat yourselves as if you're actually in court with me. That means no moving around. Find a quiet place to speak if that's what you'd like to do. If you are driving a vehicle, I can't have you driving a vehicle and being on Zoom with me this afternoon. So I need for you to either pull over or find a safe space to speak with me when I get to your case. Good afternoon, Ms. McLeod.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
My understanding that we have your client, position number 24, Ms. Russell at ACDC. And when Ms. Milton gets back, or Officer Milton gets back, we'll proceed with her matter.
Yes, Your Honor.
And courtroom 2, just let me know when you're ready to proceed.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Judge.
Yes. Good afternoon, Mr. Rhodes. Hope you're doing well today.
Yes, sir. ASG Sirocco is he will be joining us. He's having technical issues, but he's joining us very soon. So if we hit his cases, I'll just let you know that we might have to hold for his report.
Okay, thank you. Are you presenting for position number 24?
I believe Russell is either ASG Sirocco or either our newest ASG, Miss McGill.
Who is position number 24? I may be.
Jayla Russell.
No, Jayla Russell, I have that one. I prepared Jayla Russell, so I can present that one, Judge.
Okay, as soon as Officer Milton gets back, that's one of Ms. McLeod's cases, so I'll take that case as well.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Ms. McLeod.
Mr. Rhodes, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you.
Good
Good to see
afternoon.
you.
Good to see you too.
And courtroom two, are you ready for us to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. If you do not have a private attorney, we're providing you with the assistance of a public defender or conflict defender this afternoon if you choose to utilize their service. Let's see, Attorney Bishop, you're here for Christopher Brown, is that right?
Christopher Montaigne, Your Honor.
Montaigne, I'm sorry, I could only see the Christopher. Do we have Mr. Montaigne in courtroom two?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, let's see, who's from the state is presenting for that case? Is that one of Mr. Sirocco's cases?
Checking that.
I am, Your Honor.
Ms. McGill.
You are, Ms. McGill?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so let's proceed with Mr. Montaigne's. Good afternoon, sir. You have been charged in case 25 CR 0059994A with battery family violence. Good afternoon, Ms. Harvey. Is there a history?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. 3 cycles. Last arrest was December 19th, 2020 for willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer and simple assault out of Brookhaven, Georgia. There was no disposition listed for this case. There is a 2013 conviction for possession of marijuana less than an ounce and nothing further.
Yes, Ms. McGill.
Yes, Your Honor. This situation came about where the defendant and victim were arguing about the defendant cheating. The argument turned physical when the defendant threw a mirror in the victim's face, causing her to bleed from her nose and causing visible cuts on her lip, cheek, and neck, which were observed by a law enforcement officer. So with that being said, in the history that was just read to you, we are asking for $3,000 surety bond, to have no further contact with the victim, a one-day anger management course, and no alcohol or drugs while out on bond.
Would you put the name of the alleged victim on the record for me?
Yes, the alleged victim's name is Gloria Almadova, and if she is here, we'd like to give her a moment to speak.
And were you requesting a stay away?
Yes, Your Honor.
And would you put that on the record from where you'd like him to stay away from?
The 485 Lindbergh Place, Northeast Atlanta, Georgia.
Thank you. If Gloria Moldova is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. I'll need for you to unmute yourself, activate your camera, and I'll have to swear you in if you choose to speak this afternoon. Does not appear that. Oh, yes, Miss Almondova. Yes, good afternoon, ma'am. Would you like to address the court this afternoon?
I would not.
Okay. I appreciate you being here. Yes, Mr. Bishop.
Yes, Judge, I'd just like to say that Mr. Montaigne is employed. He does have a place that he can stay. He's got several family members that live in and around the metro Atlanta area. One of them is also logged on here just to be present. They don't wish to say anything, but he has been in Georgia the majority of his life. I think the last criminal history part that you heard was that he had something from 2020. As far as I'm aware, that was dismissed. That was from Brookhaven. That was an obstruction. Otherwise, he has no felony history. He has no other history. We're fine with a stay away, and we're fine with a no contact. He does have some belongings that are over at the house, so we'd like for him to be able to go and get those belongings with law enforcement present. So other than that, we'd be asking for a signature bond. He doesn't have any other history that would suggest that he's not going to show up to court.
As such, it will be a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from her residential address. He can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you all. Anything further this afternoon, Mr. Bishop?
No, Your Honor, that would conclude my business if I can be excused.
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
I thank you as well.
Thank you. Who do we have next?
Go to AC.
Okay, is Officer Milton there to unmute for me?
Not I can.
Okay, I think she went to get some other inmates, so I'll take her as soon as she returns.
You can go to position 30. Sorry, 20, Mr. Milbury.
Who's presenting from the state for Mr. Milberg?
I am, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. Good afternoon, Mr. Milbury. You've been charged in case 25 CR 0059993C with 2 counts of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. 6 cycles. The last arrest was January 7th, 2025 out of Fairburn, Georgia, for abandonment of dependent child. No disposition was listed for that case. There are 2 convictions from 2018 for criminal trespass and 1 for possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and nothing further.
Yes, Ms. McGill.
Yes, Your Honor. Just a brief factual basis. The defendant and the victim were in a verbal dispute. And the victim's name is Sadie Crawford. So at the appropriate time, I'd like to sound for her and ask if she'd like to speak. It is alleged that Sadie Crawford threw Living Milbury's food in his face and bit him multiple times, including his chest and inner right thigh. Living's Milbury punched Sadie Crawford in the back of her head and the side of her temple during the altercation, which caused Sadie Crawford's visible swelling to her head. And this occurred in front of the 2 minor children, Constant Pierre Lewis and Olivia Crawford. We are asking at this time for a $5,000 surety bond, a stay away from the incident location. The incident location is 6355 Oakley Road, Union, Georgia. We are also asking for no further contact with Sadie Crawford and to consume no alcohol or drugs while out on bond.
Ms. McLeod, is this your case?
It is, Your Honor. My
Okay.
understanding is that this is a dual arrest. Would the state like to confirm that?
Yeah, that Sadie Crawford's position number 5 on the calendar.
It's a dual arrest, and I believe, based on the warrant, that the officers determined that she was the primary aggressor, but for some reason, my client was arrested. Nevertheless, what I'm asking for is a signature bond for my client, that this signature bond be conditioned on no further violent contact with Miss Crawford. My client tells me that they live together. He said, that he felt that she was a bit stressed because she had just lost her job and, was facing some bills and so on. So she was feeling very angry, and that is what resulted in her acting up. He doesn't want to quote unquote press charges against her, although I believe that he had visible bodily injuries, Your Honor. But he tells me that he understands sort of what happened, but I just want to point out that the police officers thought that she was the primary aggressor and he was the one with the injuries. And he has no significant criminal history. That is why I'm asking for a signature bond for him.
Do they share children together? Is that what you told me?
I do not share children together, Your Honor, but they both have children. And I believe her two children live with them. He also has two children.
Mr. Misogynon, good afternoon. Is Sadie Crawford your client? I can't. Mr. Misogynon, I'm sorry.
Can you hear me now, Judge?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Good afternoon. I do represent Ms. Crawford.
Okay. She's not before us, but I wanted to know if you spoke with her regarding regarding contact.
Yes, Your Honor. She indicated that she would want no further violent contact, but still wants to have contact going forward.
And Ms. Harvey, would you give me the history for Ms. Crawford, please?
Yes, Your Honor. She has 3 cycles out of Georgia and 2 out of Kansas. Her last arrest was April 24th, 2019, out of Kansas for failure to appear. There's a 2017 conviction for disorderly conduct, a 2019 conviction out of Kansas for criminal deprivation of property. I'm also showing a hold out of Kansas from April 4th of 2025 for assault, and nothing further.
Okay, if nothing further for the battery, it will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For each of the cruelties, a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1 makes for a total of a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with Sadie Crawford, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And you would like to go back, ACDC, to position number 24, Jayla Russell.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Good afternoon, Ms. Russell. You've been charged in case 25 CR 006014E with simple assault. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. 3 cycles. The last arrest December 21st, 2023 out of DeKalb County for simple battery, family violence. There was no disposition list for this case, Your Honor. There's a 2022 conviction for sale of marijuana and possession and use of drug-related objects, and nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Rhodes?
Yes, Judge. We're asking for a $2,000 sign-on bond through pretrial services level 3 supervision. We're asking that at this time she stay away from 6202 Alding Forest Court in Sandy Springs, Georgia, and to have no further contact with Caitlin Harris, the victim in this particular case. I do not know if Ms. Harris is on, but I would ask the court to sound for Ms. Caitlin Harris if she wants to address the court.
Harris is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity to do so. Does not appear so. Yes, Ms. McLeod.
Your Honor, my client denies the allegations in the warrant. Although she says she does know who the alleged victim is, that what the warrant alleges that she went to her house and so on, that she absolutely denies, Your Honor. She has no significant criminal history. In fact, she tells me that the arrest in DeKalb County was actually dismissed. And other than that, she only has one other arrest for something nonviolent. So I think asking for level 3 reporting is excessive under the circumstances. So I would ask that her bond be a signature bond at level 1. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Ms. Harris. Stay away from her residential address. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Russell.
Thank you, Your Honor. And that
You're welcome.
concludes my business before the court today. May I be excused?
Yes. Good to see you as always, Ms. McLeod. Hope
Good
you
to
had a
see you too,
good
Your Honor.
vacation. We
I
missed you while you were
did.
gone.
Thank you for asking.
Good, good. Glad you did. Who do we have next?
Position 31, Ms. White. Go ahead. Come on. I left the message. This phone number. Watch this.
Let me know when you're ready to proceed, Mr. McLean.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Is this Chantel White?
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Sirocco.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon, Ms. White. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006004D with battery and simple battery. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. 15 cycles out of Georgia and 2 cycles out of Tennessee. Last arrest was out of Fulton County, June 13th, 2025 for battery. No disposition was listed for this case, Your Honor. I'm showing an open case under 25 CR 002-070D for disorderly conduct and a battery case. She is currently being supervised by pretrial for this case, Your Honor, and we will be doing a bond surrender today. There's a 2014 conviction for criminal trespass as well, and nothing further.
Thank you, Mr. Sirocco.
Thank you, Your Honor. This was the striking of the victim here, Miss Corey White. This was a punching in her face with a closed fist. She sustained bruising. We have spoken with Miss White, who explained that the defendant resides next to her duplex, and she became friends with the defendant's girlfriend. There was a jealousy issue, and ultimately, there are the defendant and her girlfriend, so his girlfriend, have had various disputes within the neighborhood, and this incident occurred due to the defendant being very intoxicated and yelling at her friend. So the victim stepped in here, and that's when the defendant attacked her. She will state that he is not, excuse me, he is typically drunk, loud, and aggressive whenever he sees her, but she has not had issues with him since the dispute. If we could sound for her when appropriate, we would ask for that. We are seeking a $3,000 surety on account of the open case and the defendant's history, given the risk of reoffense here. It would be $2,000 on the battery and $1,000 on the simple battery is what we'd be recommending. The split be 2 days anger awareness, no further contact with Corey White, no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And with respect to a potential stay away, is that the defendant's address, Mr. McLean?
The incident address being 3116?
That's what I have.
Okay.
Work, I don't even.
That is the defendant's address, yes.
Is that his address? It's not the one that's next to it, because what I mentioned about the duplex.
It may be. Sure.
They stay in the front.
Okay, well, we would request to stay away from the victim's residence here. And that no, as well as no drugs, weapons, or alcohol, and random screens for drugs and alcohol. That is all for the state.
Can you tell me who issued the bond on the disorderly and the other battery, and what amount?
Yes, Your Honor, I can review that. Give me 1 second.
Okay, while you do that, I'll sound for Corey White. If Mr. White is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity.
Yes, sir. This is me. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm happy to have you here. I'll need for you to, if you'd like to address the court, to activate your camera for me.
Yes, hold on just a second, please.
Okay, yes.
Your Honor, this was your bond set. I see here it was a $5,000 signature bond total. And it was a different victim in that case. You set this April 21st of this year.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Ms. White, if you'll raise your right hand for me, please.
Oh, yes.
Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I swear.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you, ma'am. What would you like to tell the court?
I would just like to tell the court that Chantel is a very, very violent person, especially when she gets drunk. And it's been a disturbance, been multiple disturbances in the neighborhood. Not only have I had to call the police, but different people in the neighborhood have had to call the police, and I have had numerous different conversations with people that live around in our neighborhood that have talked about how she gets drunk, and then she has a tendency to beat on her girlfriend whenever she's drunk as well. And this happens maybe, if not every week, every other week. It happens very often.
Thank you for being here, Ms. White.
Okay.
And Ms. White, I do have one question for you.
Yes.
Can you explain to me the living situation with respect to 3116 Waters Road?
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir. So it's a duplex. It appears as one whole house, but she lives in the front half of the house and I live in the back half of the house.
understood. And does he live or reside in either?
Yeah, she resides in the first half, in the front half of the house, I mean.
Okay, so with her?
Yes, her and her girlfriend.
Okay, thank you.
You're
We would ask for no further, and stay away from, excuse me, from the second half of the house at least, if not the whole house, Your Honor. That is what we'd be asking for.
Mr. McLean, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honors. 37-year-old Ms. White, no relation. Your Honor, is originally from Louisiana, but has been in Georgia for quite some time. She is a customer service person at a laundry currently, and she's missing work right now. She in the past has worked at a warehouse and a cleaning service. She has a high school education and some college. Given the nature of the charges here and the fact that they are alleged to have occurred back in May 17th of this year, compared to the April alleged date of the other, we would ask the court to consider a signature bond here. And I would love to have some kind of forum where I could ask not to surrender the other.
And the state should have added, there is a history of failing to appear here, the most recent being from 2017 and 2022, but there are older.
For the battery, it would be a $2,000 good bond. For the simple battery, $1,000 good bond makes for a total of a $3,000 good bond. No further contact with Corey White. Stay away from her residential address. 2 days anger awareness. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. And I believe an alcohol drug evaluation and possible treatment might be of assistance. Good luck to you, Ms. White.
Your Honor, I don't even go back there. Right, but yes, sir, I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And if we could add that other open case, if she doesn't bond out before SAP, the 25 CR 002070D to the SAP calendar as well.
Repeat that number again.
Yes, ma'am. 25 CR 002070D.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, I haven't confirmed this on Odyssey, but I understand it might be scheduled for trial tomorrow.
Yes,
Oh, interesting. Okay.
yes, sir. I wasn't aware.
They need to scoot her over there to the courtroom.
It is. I do see that it is scheduled for. It's a calendar call. So I'm not sure whether they'd be actually having a trial that day, but yeah, it is scheduled for hearing tomorrow.
Court, is that in?
That is having trouble. It ends in D, so that would make that.
Judge Airline, Judge.
Okay.
That sounds right.
Mr. McLean, if she's represented by a public defender, would you let the public defender know who's in that courtroom that she's in custody?
I will.
So that she doesn't have an FTA for that?
We have discussed that notion, and yes, we will.
All right, I appreciate it. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Your Honor, I understand you know what you're saying. I actually have my phone at home. My chime card is locked. I get paid Friday, so I'll be able to pay my bond, but I don't have anyone that I can get to unlock my phone and all of that. I promise to God, I don't contact this young lady. Look, I'm 37, they're younger.
Ma'am, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. We're not going to litigate this today, but I don't want you to get yourself into any more trouble than you're already in. Talk to Mr. McLean about that, and he'll see what he can do to assist you further. Okay? Good luck to you, ma'am.
Next are positions 11 and 12, Mr. Hirsch.
That's just sure some regular. Get them on. I'll call this number again.
Hey,
Good afternoon, Mr. Hurst. You've been charged in case 25 CR 006012D with battery and in case 25 CR 006016D with following too closely, hit and run, and driving while your license was suspended or revoked. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. 10 cycles. The last arrest was out of Cobb County, March 14th, 2023 for simple battery and driving while license suspended or revoked. There does appear to be an open case out of Clayton County for battery. Appears to be on probation out of Cobb County for simple battery. On probation out of Columbia County for possession of methamphetamine and DUI. There are convictions from 2014 for theft by taking. I'm sorry, that was first offender in 2014 for theft by taking. That case was sealed in 2017. Convictions from 2018 for driving while license suspended. 2024, simple battery. There are active warrants out of Cobb County for failure to appear and an active warrant out of Appleton, Georgia for probation violation, and nothing further.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident stemmed from August 26th date. Officer McKeitron was dispatched to a Lyft driver, Your Honor, who had indicated that while he was transporting this defendant along with another passenger, they were arguing inside of his vehicle, and he asked them to stop arguing or he would have to discontinue the ride. Essentially, when he did pull over, what the victim states is that the defendant here grabbed him, punched him in his nose. His nose was broken as a result of this. He had to go to the emergency room. He's sending us over the medical bills as it relates to what happened to his swollen eye as well as his nose being broken. But he punched him and then he fled. Given the significant criminal history of the defendant, Your Honor, you heard 10 cycles, and he's currently on probation out of Cobb County for violence, simple battery. We are asking for a good bond on the battery of $3,000, and that he's to have no further contact with Mohammed, that's spelled Mohamed, Nabe, Nabe. That is the Lyft driver that was assaulted. On his other case, Your Honor, which are traffic violations, the state is fine with the $1,500, $500 each charge, $1,500 sign-on bond through the jail.
Thank you. Let's see, if Mr. Nabe is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, good afternoon, sir. Can you hear me okay?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Okay. If you'll raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay, you can place your hand down. What would you like to tell the court, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. On this day, on the 26th, this customer, they ordered the ride. It was the second ride. When I came, I couldn't see the rider, and I called them. They didn't answer the call. But since I got 4 minutes waiting, I waited. They were standing outside looking at me, but I couldn't tell them to come. Now, when they get in the car, they forced me to turn the radio up. I told them, I said, if I do that, I won't be able to listen on the GPS. But they told me it is their money, I have to do it. So I do it. On the long of the ride, the customer put his feet on the window. I said, for the policy and for your safety, it would be better, you sit and put your seatbelt in case, something happen. I don't want you to get hurt. He said, no, he don't want that. He said, he spend his money, I have to do the way he want it. I said, if that's the case, I have to pull up and then cancel the ride. And he told me, he said, yeah, let's do that. And then we came to the section where it was a plaza. I turned and I parked the car. Soon I parked the car, he get up from the car. He didn't close the door. So I get up from my seat, trying to go and close the door. He closed the door. My way back to go to the driver's seat, he grabbed me and grabbed my phone. So when I grabbed him to get my phone, he threw my phone away. So I'm going to get my phone. He just, out of for nothing, punched my face and start dancing and take a position. He said, yeah, if you really fight, let's fight. I said, no, I'm not gonna fight you. I said, you just hurt me for something, doesn't necessarily, get to that point. So I started following them. I said, let's wait for the police and then explain, what happened. They started running away. So I followed them while, I was on the phone with the police. Soon as see the police coming, now he run away. And then they stopped his friend. And then I told them, no, his friend didn't got nothing to do with it. He didn't participate. And then after that, they gave me the police report. And the ambulance came. I told them, since I have, lift, and then the hospital wasn't far, I said, I'm gonna drive myself to the medical place. So when I get there, they told me I got a lot of fracture. Even today, even if I, split, I still, getting blood on my spit. And then my eyes still got scar, and then my nose still, broken. They want me to continue, but I don't have insurance. The medical bill start, still getting high, and I still, on the medication to sleep. I usually work as a 12 hours. Or right now I cannot do at nighttime. My
Your Honor, I
eyes.
would have to object and just ask that the witness please only speak to whether he's okay with Mr. Hurst receiving a bond and whether he wants contact and those things relevant to the hearing.
Okay. I understand what you're going through, sir. I'm sorry for that. If you'll stay in touch with the solicitor's office, they'll let you know when additional hearings are coming up in the matter. And you can submit all your paperwork and things of that nature that you're seeking, and they'll assist you with that, okay? But as far as today goes, this is just a bond hearing. We're not litigating the matter, but we'll do that on another day. But I do appreciate you being here, sir.
All right, no problem.
Thank you, sir. Yes, Mr. Massageddin.
Thank you, Your Honor. On behalf of Mr. Hurst, he is 32 years old and a lifelong resident of the state of Georgia. He has a good address at the address on file. He lives there with his mother, Your Honor, as well as his other family, which is all local here to the metro area. Your Honor, he is a high school graduate. He also has a bachelor's degree and a master's degree in broadcast communication and film, which he received from Kennesaw State University. Your Honor, he makes some income via social media, not enough, Your Honor, to sustain himself, Your Honor. So he's still living with his parents at the moment, Your Honor. But we would just ask for Mr. Hurst to receive a signature bond to all the charges here today, Your Honor. That's all from Mr. Hurst.
Case position number 11, the battery, it will be a $2,000 good bond, no further contact with the alleged victim, 5 days of anger management, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. For position number 12, for each charge will be a $500 signature bond through the jail, makes for a total of a $1,500 signature bond through the jail. No driving without a valid license, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you both. Who do we have next?
Position number 2, Mr. Adams.
Good afternoon, Mr. Adams. You've been charged in case 25 CR 006008E with battery family violence and simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Eight cycles out of Georgia, 31 out of Illinois, and 2 out of Wisconsin. Last arrest was out of Lowndes County for probation violation, January 24th, 2024. On probation out of Lowndes County for terroristic threats. Sentenced May 15, 2024 to 5 years probation. In addition, there are convictions from 2023 for fleeing or attempting to elude a police officer, 2023 theft by taking, terroristic threats, and simple battery family violence. Out of Illinois, there are several convictions from the 80s a 2004 vehicle theft, 2011 aggravated battery, possession of a controlled substance, and a 2015 IVC felony out of Illinois, and nothing further.
Ms. McGill.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. This incident occurred on September 27th. Law enforcement responded to a call at 9100 Cascade, Palmetto Highway, Building 7G in Palmetto, Georgia, in reference to a physical altercation. They made contact with the victim in this case, Ms. Reza Adams, who stated that her ex-husband, Mr. Bernard Adams, and her were arguing over family matters, and that he physically assaulted her by grabbing her and pulling her clothing. She did have a bruising on her arms, and she did allege that Mr. Adams was on drugs. So you've heard his lengthy history out of Illinois and his recent history out of Georgia. It also appears that he, in September 15th of 2023, he pled guilty to simple battery, family violence, terroristic threats, and theft by taking against Ms. Reza Adams. And thus he has a propensity to reoffend against the same person. And it's also clear that he may have some substance abuse issues. And therefore, we are asking for an $8,000 surety bond, a stay away from the incident location, a stay away completely from Ms. Reza Adams, an alcohol and drug assessment, an evaluation for it to be screened for alcohol and drugs while out on bond, an FFIP class, and if Ms. Reza Adams is here and would like to speak, we'd like to sound for her as well. And he also does have FTAs and VOPs, if you didn't hear that, Your Honor.
Thank you. If Ms. Adams is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Mr. Massajuddin.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Adams is 55 years old. He does reside at the alleged incident location in Palmetto, Georgia. But it is my understanding that is his place of residence that belongs to his mother, his 90-year-old mother, for whom he is the primary caregiver for. And so that Miss Adams does not reside there. So there's no problem with a no contact or a stay away order. Or I'm sorry, a no contact, but we would ask that there not be a stay away order for Mr. Adams from his own place of residence. He lives there along with his sister and helps to take care of his mother. Your Honor, he's also been working through a temp agency that's based out of Warner Robins, but he's recently been placed on workers' compensation after suffering an injury, Your Honor, just last week. He's a high school graduate, as well as a father and a grandfather. Your Honor, we would just ask for Mr. Adams today to receive a bond, the total amount not to exceed $4,000.
Okay, for the battery will be a $2,000 good bond. For the simple battery, $1,000 good bond makes for a total of a $3,000 good bond. No further contact with Ms. Adams. Whatever Ms. Adams's residential address is, he's to stay away from that address. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Next is position 3, Mr. Brown.
Good afternoon, Mr. Brown. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006009B with simple battery, family violence, and criminal trespass and damage to property. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor, 3 cycles. Last arrest was May 2nd, 2023, out of Loganville, Georgia, for DUI and driving while license suspended or revoked. He was convicted for that case, Your Honor. Also has a conviction out of Gwinnett County from 2015 for armed robbery and robbery. Received confinement 7 years and 15 years probation. That appears to be an active probation case, Your Honor, and nothing further.
Ms. McGill?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident allegedly occurred November 13th, 2024, when law enforcement responded to a dispute at 4600 Roswell Road. They made contact with the defendant's mother, Miss Monique Williams, who stated that she got into an argument with her son, Mr. Christian Brown, earlier in the day. He came back to the residence drunk and with an alcoholic beverage in his hand. They argued again, and Miss Williams asked him to leave. She began filming him, and he pushed her to the ground to stop her from filming. And then he continued to walk away toward her car and slashed both of her vehicle rear tires with the knife and left the scene. Given his history of violence and the fact that he was on probation for the armed robbery and robbery, we're going to ask for a $2,000 surety bond and to stay away from the alleged victim, Miss Monique Williams, an anger management course while out on bond, to stay away from drugs and alcohol and weapons while out on bond, and for alcohol and drug assessment and alcohol and drug screens.
Have you, your office had the opportunity to speak with Ms. Williams?
That I do not know, Your Honor.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Massagian. And first of all, if Ms. Monique Williams is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Mr. Massagian.
Thank you, Your Honor. On behalf of Mr. Brown, he's 28 years old and a lifelong resident of Georgia. Your Honor, he does reside at, I believe, the incident location. He lives there with his mother. He's been living there together with her at least since the alleged incident date, Your Honor. And so it's my understanding that there is no problem with them continuing to have contact. If Your Honor wants to know further violent contact, we wouldn't object to that, Your Honor. Mr. Brown was previously employed working for security at a local Rooms to Go. He was recently incarcerated on other matters, and so whether he still has that job waiting for him is in jeopardy at the moment. That's why we're asking for him to receive a bond today. The total amount not to exceed $2,000, Your Honor. Additionally, he has his GED, which he obtained in 2018, Your Honor, and nothing further.
Did I hear about, you said something about that he's recently been incarcerated? I didn't hear anything about any other arrests since 2023. So was he arrested for something else between 2023 and today?
Your Honor, I believe it was, I'm sorry, that was my mistake. I believe it in connection with this incarceration that he's been missing work and is at jeopardy of losing his job.
Okay, you can place your hand down, Mr. Brown. Let Mr. Misogynist speak there for you. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you, and I wouldn't want you to get in any other trouble than what you're already in. Given the date of this, which is going on almost a year ago, they don't think that there's no indication that there have been any other problems since that time. For the simple battery, it will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. For the criminal trespass, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2 makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. No further violent contact with his mother, Miss Williams. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond, and 5 days of anger management. Good luck to you, Mr. Brown.
Next is position 4, Mr. Burks.
Good afternoon, Mr. Burks. You have been charged in case 25 CR 005988G with loitering and prowling and criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor, 52 cycles. The last arrest was January 19th, 2025 out of Clayton County for a public order crime. There are at least 10 convictions for criminal trespass dating back to 2015. There's a 2025 conviction for theft by shoplifting, 2024 theft by shoplifting, disorderly conduct convictions from 2023 and 2017, and a 2017 simple assault. And nothing further.
Thank you, Mr. Rhodes.
Yes, Your Honor, I'll make it quick, Your Honor. We're going to agree to a signature bond in this, pretrial services level 2, $2,000 signature bond. We just ask that he stay away from all of MARTA stations and that he get a social work visit, Your Honor.
Mr. Massager?
No objection, or we would agree with the state's recommendation for Mr. Burks, including the social work visit.
Does he have a place to reside, Mr. Massager?
Your Honor, he told me that he had a place in Collier Hills. He wasn't able to give me a specific address, but he said that he had family that he could stay with. But he was not able to provide me with a actual numbered address.
Okay, I do want him to have a social worker visit, and to assess for BHET and housing. I'm concerned that if I put him at level 2, that he won't have the ability to do that, and I'll be setting him up for failure. So I'm going to have it at level 1. So for each charge will be $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, social worker visit. At this point in time, stay away from all MARTA and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Burks.
Next is position 8. No, you got to solve.
What was that position, sir?
Position 8.
Good afternoon, Mr. Garcia Arroyo. You have been charged in case 25 CR 0059999G with simple assault, family violence, battery, family violence, and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor, 6 cycles. Last arrest was March 21st, 2025, out of Fulton County for driving while license suspended or revoked. That case was dismissed. There is a 2023 conviction for fleeing or attempting to elude, and nothing further.
Thank you, Mr. Rhodes.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll make it brief. $3,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 1. Alcohol, drug evaluation and treatment, that he undergoes that. No alcohol, drugs, and weapons while out on bond. No further violent contact with Shayla Perez, and that's Sheyla Perez, or Helen Garcia Arroyo. So there's no further violent contact. Would ask for the court is inclined to have him do at least 2 anger awareness classes and weekly AA meetings, Your Honor. We'd ask that he attend 2 AA meetings per week for at least the first 6 months while out on bond. And this recommendation is made in light of the criminal history, including the prior charges that seem to be alcohol related as well. So 3,000, and I know that was a lot, but 3,000 sign on bond through pretrial services level 1, Your Honor, and with those conditions. And the offer, Mr. Is it Mershadane?
Misogyny, yeah.
Misogyny. Thank you, sir. It will be diversion later on. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me sound for Ms. Perez or Ms. Arroyo. If either of those people are on the line and wish to address the court, now's your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Yes, Mr. Misogyny.
Thank you, Your Honor. On behalf of Mr. Garcia Arroyo, Your Honor, he's a lifelong resident of the state of Georgia. He has a good address here on file, lives there with his family. He's a high school graduate and is currently working. He is due to start a new job on Wednesday at LA Visionary LLC. That is a delivery service, Your Honor, that he's looking to start on Wednesday. He's going to be working, hopefully to save up to enroll in trade school. He has plans to study carpentry. Your Honor, we would not object to the 3,000 recommendation signature bond for Mr. Garcia Arroyo today.
And who are Ms. Perez and Ms. Arroyo to him, Mr. Misogyny?
I believe Ms. Perez is his sister, Ms. Perez is a former partner, and the other Ms. Arroyo is his sister.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. For each charge will be a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with either of the alleged victims. I'll have them have an alcohol drug evaluation and any treatment that's necessary. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Next is position 9, Mr. Grooms.
Good afternoon, Mr. Grooms. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006006E with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor, 10 cycles. Last arrest January 17th, 2023, out of Fulton County for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. That case was dismissed. Appears to be on probation out of Fulton County for hijacking a motor vehicle, armed robbery, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, fleeing or attempting to elude a police officer. Sentenced in 2022. Also on probation out of Fulton County, sentenced in 2022 for 3 counts of aggravated assault under 22 SC 183550. In addition, there is a conviction from 2016 for robbery and criminal damage to property. Nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Rhodes?
Yes, Your Honor. This case stems from January of this year, January 29th of 2026, where Ms. Rachel Kelly, the victim in this case, made a phone call to law enforcement that she had been assaulted by the father of her child, and that is Mr. Reginald Grooms. She indicated that she was in the car with him and that essentially when she was on the phone, she'd asked him if he could keep it quiet. He got upset because of that and essentially assaulted her. And so basically,
Whoever the Shanika is that's on the line, if you'll mute yourself, please. Can we meet? Thank you. I apologize, Mr. Rhodes. You can continue.
thank you, Your Honor. And so essentially, she asked him to get out of the vehicle. He would not get out, but he ended up slapping her. It resulted in her having visible injuries, a swollen lip, and her face was reddened as a result of this. Do understand that this was in January of 2026. However, he was just arrested on it. I know that he's currently on probation for armed robbery and hijacking, and he does have 2 prior ag assault convictions as well. One of those ag assaults was a stabbing, Your Honor. Um, we are asking for a good bond in the amount of $2,500, and that he has no further violent contact with Miss Rachel Kelly, and that he enrolls in anger awareness courses. And that's all that the state is recommending at this time. And the good bond is in light of the criminal history that you heard and the fact that he's currently on probation.
Thank you. If Ms. Kelly is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Yes, Mr. Masanjane.
Thank you, Your Honor. On behalf of Mr. Grooms, Your Honor, he is 30 years old and a lifelong resident of Atlanta. Your Honor, he does share a child with the alleged victim, but they are no longer in a relationship. Your Honor, they have a relationship as far as exchanging custody and handling matters with their children or with their child that they share together. But other than that, they don't have a relationship, romantic or business or otherwise. Your Honor, Mr. Grooms lives at the address on file in Atlanta with his sister as well as his mother. He's been employed working at an Italian restaurant near Lenox Mall. He's been working that same job for the past 7 months and is looking to start a second job very soon to supplement that income. Your Honor, he is currently on that felony probation. He also, this incident allegedly, according to the warrant, occurred at the Atlanta PAL program, Your Honor, which is a program, I believe, through APD to foster community activities, and specifically Pee Wee football. That Mr. Grooms volunteers as a football coach and a basketball coach. His son is also a part of that program. He does that regularly. He's a strong, vibrant member of the community. Your Honor, we do understand the history and the probation, but we would still ask for Mr. Grooms here today to receive a $2,000 signature bond. We would have no problem with it, no further violent contact between him and the alleged victim.
Okay, it will be a $10,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. I want him to begin the family violence intervention program within a month of getting released. No further violent contact with Rachel Kelly. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Next is position 13, Mr. Jinks.
Good afternoon, Mr. Jenks. You have been charged in case 25 CR 0060138 with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor, 7 cycles. Last arrest was in 2022 out of Clayton County for driving while license suspended. There was a conviction for that case, Your Honor. There is also a 2018 conviction for driving while license suspended. In addition, there are 2 holds, 2 FTA holds, 1 out of Henry County and 1 out of Ashburn, Georgia, and nothing further.
Yes, Your Honor. This is December 2024 incident. Police were dispatched to 2353 Metropolitan Parkway in reference to a fight that was going on. They were able to get in contact with Miss Butler Roberts. Her first name is Charmaine, so it's Charmaine Butler Roberts, who indicated that she and the defendant were arguing about, he was accusing her of cheating, which led to verbal, but then it led to physical, where she was pushed down flight of stairs. She fell to the bottom of the stairs to catch herself and actually landed on her back. Officers were able to see visible injuries. There may be more charges coming if she was pregnant at the time, because she did indicate that Mr. Jinks stated to her that he hopes that she has a miscarriage and he wouldn't care whether she or the unborn child died. He did get out inside of his vehicle and he drove away, so he was not apprehended on that day. But considering what Your Honor has heard as it relates to the criminal history, the fact that he currently has 2 holds and is currently on probation, we are asking for a good bond, and that in an amount of $5,000, that he has no further contact at this time with Ms. Charmaine Butler Roberts, and that he stay away from the incident location, which is 2353 Metropolitan Parkway here in Atlanta, Georgia, and that he enrolls in FBIP, Your Honor.
If Ms. Butler Roberts is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Mr. Massajuddin.
Thank you, Your Honor. On behalf of Mr. Jinks, he is 34 years old and a lifelong resident of Atlanta. He does reside at the location on file, which I believe is the alleged incident location. The alleged victim, Miss Charmaine, I believe it was Roberts Butler, does not reside there. They do not share any children. They are not in a relationship. Your Honor, there's no problem with Mr. Butler or Mr. Jinks having no contact at all with Miss Charmaine Butler. Your Honor, he does not, or I'm sorry, he is a father to 2 young children, ages 11 and 10 years old, that he shares custody with their mother, Your Honor, but that is not Miss Charmaine Roberts again. He's a high school graduate. He's employed working at Staff Zone for the past 2 years, a staffing temp agency doing day labor. And is also currently enrolled at the Aviation Institute of Maintenance here in Georgia, studying for aviation maintenance, Your Honor. So we would ask for Mr. Jinks to receive a bond here today in the amount of $5,000 signature bond.
It will be a $2,000 good bond. No further contact with Ms. Butler Roberts. Stay away from her residential address. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Next is position 14, Mr. Johnson, Elijah.
Good afternoon, Mr. Johnson. You've been charged in case 25 CR 005986C with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
Harvey, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. He has one prior arrest from 2021 out of Michigan. This appears to have been a juvenile arrest. Nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. McGill?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident occurred on September 26th. The incident location being South Fulton Parkway and Mason Road, Union City. It occurred between him and his brother, Mr. Jeremiah Johnson. The two of them are siblings. They got into a verbal argument, and the defendant escalated the verbal argument by lunging at the victim and striking him in the face and causing a laceration on the victim's right eye. With that being said, we recommend a $1,000 surety bond to have no further violent contact with the victim and to stay away from the incident location, and 1 day anger awareness, and no alcohol and drugs or weapons while out on bond.
And let's see, I believe that Mr. Johnson's mother is on the line and wanted to speak. If Mr. Elijah Johnson's mother is on the line now, it's your opportunity to speak, if you choose to.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here. Good
Yes.
afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, ma'am. If you could raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Yes, ma'am. You can place your hand down. Thank you. What would you like to tell the court?
Yeah, so my name is Naomi Johnson, I'm mother of Eli Johnson, and coming here to court as his mother. The arrest was made, and I was actually there along with my mother, which is his grandmother, and my younger son, Jeremiah. The incident escalated into an altercation between the two brothers, both my sons. Unfortunately, Elijah is dealing with a lot of mental issues, mental disorders, and he actually is being seen. And I've been every step of the way. I've actually been going to his appointments. He's being seen at an outpatient in Douglasville clinic, and on that day actually he had a appointment for a distributed medicine for a monthly basis for bipolar issues and schizophrenia. And that day we had literally just left from that appointment. And then I went to proceed to pick up my younger son from college. So I'm not too sure if that was like maybe a negative reaction to the prescribed medicine that he was given, being that his behavior was very erratic and very violent. But I would like for him to continue his assessments and his therapy treatment that he's, currently receiving right now. He actually has an appointment on the 15th of October for a behavioral assessment. And I'm hoping we can solve this issue and get him some help that he needs. I don't think that he needs to be in jail or further any type of punishment at the moment. I think he needs to go seek help right now.
Does he reside in your home?
Correct.
Ma'am?
Yes.
And does Jeremiah reside there as well?
He is in college. He goes to Clayton College right now. So his address is here, but he doesn't stay here.
Okay, so you would like for Elijah to be back in your household so that you can help manage him?
That is correct, Your Honor. And he's never been arrested. He has no history. I don't know where that charge in Michigan. We never lived in Michigan, so I think that might be a different person. I just want to clarify.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you being here this afternoon.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Massajuddin.
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe Mr. Johnson's mother has covered most of it, but he is a lifelong resident of the state of Georgia. He lives with his mom and dad, as well as his brother, who's away at college, his sister and his grandmother. Your Honor, he's a high school graduate. He has some MH apparently diagnoses, but his mom's very much on top of that. He's receiving medication. He's seeing doctors regularly. Your Honor, he has maybe one arrest in his history. There's some doubt about that, I guess, currently. Your Honor, Mr. Johnson told me he also has plans to apply himself to go to trade school and study IT technology, Your Honor. We would ask, given his history, given that he has such strong familial support, that he receive a UJR here today.
Okay. It will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. He's to stay on any prescribed medications. He is to abide by the treatment plan recommendations of his treatment team. No further violent contact with his brother. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Johnson, and you as well, Mrs. Johnson.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Next is position 19, Mr. Long.
Good afternoon, Mr. Long. You have been charged in case 25 CR 0059992B with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. 27 cycles. Last arrest, September 23rd, 2025, out of Fulton County for driving without a valid license. That does appear to be an open case. I'm showing the last felony conviction was in 2008 for theft by shoplifting. There's a 2003 conviction for manufacturing and sale of drugs. There are also arrests out of Texas and Alabama, and a 2015 conviction out of Texas for possession of marijuana less than 2 ounces, and nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. McGill?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident occurred on July 7th of this year at 62 Harwell Road. The victim's name is Chandris Jenkins, and they are boyfriend and girlfriend, and they lived together for 1 year. Just a little bit about the facts. They were having a verbal dispute, and the defendant escalated the argument by striking her and causing a busted lip and visible bruises to her chest and right side of her head. We are asking, given his history, for a $4,000 surety bond, no alcohol or drugs or weapon while on bond, a stay away from the incident location, and no further contact with the victim. But if Ms. Chandris Jenkins is here, hopefully she can speak to that if she's here.
Okay, Ms. Jenkins is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Does not appear that she's with us. Mr. McLean?
Mr. Long has an address on Terrence in a 30314 zip code. So a stay away, if the court desires it, would not be a problem. He does landscaping work for years. He's also done logistics having to do with moving furniture in a store. The education level is 11th grade. We would ask the court to consider a signature bond if that is possible.
It will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Ms. Jenkins. Stay away from her residential address. If necessary, a one-time police escort to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck, Mr. Long.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Next is add-on 1, Mr. Williams, third.
Good afternoon, Mr. Williams. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006017E with battery family violence, simple battery family violence, and possession of marijuana less than 1 ounce. Is there a history?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. 16 cycles. Last arrest was June 11th, 2025, out of Fulton County for simple assault. That is open under case number 25 PI 004685. In addition, there are convictions from 2013 for giving false name, address, date of birth to a law enforcement officer, 2014 willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, 2016, willful obstruction and simple assault. 2017, 2 counts of willful obstruction. 2019, disorderly conduct. Received first offender for 2019 for theft by taking, and that case was sealed in 2024. And nothing further to add.
Thank you. Mr. Sirocco?
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident was from the 27th of this month. This was at 525 Parkway Drive, Northeast Atlanta. Law enforcement responded to a fight in progress and made contact with the victim here. It's Miss Elmira Williams. She explained the defendant, that's her husband, he choked her and forcibly gripped her legs to remove her underwear. The victim had visible bruises on both her thighs from this incident that officers observed. Excuse me. I will say we did ultimately conduct a strangulation assessment for this case, given the reference with the choking. And she reported that he had placed his hand over her nose and mouth while standing over her and then laying down. His grip was a 10 out of 10. She experienced difficulty breathing, shortness of breath, changes to her voice, and hearing and vision changes. Also, a scratch that officers documented. So, we are in the process of trying to get this transferred to the DA's office. The request has been sent. We just have yet to hear back. I will mention on that open case out of Superior, while it's listed as a simple assault, family violence, that started out here in our office, and it appears that was accepted as aggravated assault, family violence, strangulation against the same victim here. That was also for choking her. As your honor is well aware, that one of the highest lethality factors in domestic violence is the strangulation or choking of the victim here. And what's more, we have spoken with the victim just more broadly, and she confirmed the events in the warrant. She's still sore from being thrown around, and she's been she reported that the defendant has mental health issues and that there have been ongoing issues with them for the past 5 months now. But they've been married for 3 years, in a relationship for 6. But recently there was infidelity. And from what it sounds like and from what she stated, he was trying to have sex with her in this case, and she didn't want to. And that's what led to the altercation here. And excuse me, the defendant accused her of cheating also here, and she also stated to us she has an open case with the defendant. That is the case that I was referencing, and he wasn't even supposed to be at her residence. So, needless to say, there is a significant risk of reoffense here. We are very, very concerned for the safety of this victim. And I don't have the bond for that case in front of me, but if he's in violation of it, either way, we'll be looking into what that looks like, and we will be in touch with the DA's office about revocation there. The state's seeking, in this case, a split bond because he was found in possession of marijuana. We will be fine with a signature bond on the marijuana charge, but we are seeking a $5,000 total cash split bond with $4,000 cash on the battery family violence and $1,000 on the simple battery family violence. We are recommending FFIB, no further contact with Elmira Williams, stay away from 525 Parkway Drive, Northeast Atlanta, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. If we could sound for Miss Williams at this time.
Ms. Williams is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity.
And I don't have a timeline on it, Your Honor. I wish she was here to elaborate a bit, but she is asking for a stay away, but she intends to move out of the residence, but that we don't know what that date is. So we would just be asking for a stay away outright, and we can revisit that later.
Okay. Mr. McClain?
Your Honor, he's 31 years old. He works in a warehouse. and has a high school education, and those are the factors that I've gleaned from him that I can present to the court. He intends to prevail on the other case, but we would ask the court to consider the lowest possible bond in this situation, given the circumstances.
All right, for the battery will be a $4,000 good bond. For the simple battery, a $2,000 good bond. For the marijuana, $1,000 good bond. Makes for a total of a $7,000 good bond. No further contact with Ms. Williams. Stay away from her residential address. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Next is position 7, Mr. Davis.
Good afternoon, Mr. Davis. You've been charged in case 25 CR 0059997D with battery family violence. Is there a history?
Yes, Your Honor. 2 cycles. Last arrest was in 2001 out of Greene County for aggravated assault and possession of a firearm or knife during the commission of a felony. That was a conviction, Your Honor, from 2003, and nothing further.
Thank you, Mr. Rhodes.
Yes, Your Honor, very briefly, help move it along. $2,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 1. No further violent contact with Ms. Heather Martin. And if the court is inclined, at least 2 anger awareness classes while out on bond.
Ms. Martin is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity to do so.
Yes, Your Honor. No further.
Okay, yes, ma'am. If you'll raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, yes, ma'am. What would you like to tell the court?
No further violent contact, and I would like contact, please.
Yes. We ask for no further violent contact, but there will be contact.
Okay, has this ever happened before, Ms. Martin?
No, sir.
And you all live in the same household? Is that a yes? I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you for being here this afternoon, Mary. Yes, Mr. Masajigan.
Thank you, Your Honor. On behalf of Mr. Davis, defense would not object to the state's recommendation for a $2,000 signature bond. Your Honor, he has been living here along with the alleged victim for several years. He's a high school graduate, works 2 jobs, also has his associate's degree in film production, Your Honor. We would just once again, no objection to the $2,000 signature bond for Mr. Davis today.
Okay. It will be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with Ms. Martin. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Next is position 10, Mr. Holt.
Good afternoon, Mr. Holt. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006010C with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. 31 cycles out of Missouri and 1 cycle with the U.S. Marshals. Last arrest was with the U.S. Marshals, 2015. That was a conviction for conspiracy of heroin. There's also a 2010 conviction out of Missouri for possession of a controlled substance and 2001 possession of a weapon, and nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Rhodes?
Judge, I do understand the criminal history is significant. However, this was an incident that involved Mr. Holt and his daughter, his teenage daughter, who I guess when he was trying to get her phone, took her phone, like most teenagers, she went crazy. And so this resulted from that. So I am going to deviate from my regular recommendation. I am going to ask for a $3,000 signature bond through the jail. And no further violent contact with London Hope. And that's all I can have, Your Honor.
Okay, because of SB 63, Mr. Rhodes, I'm not allowed to send anyone that's charged with a battery family violence through the jail. So they'll have to be on pretrial. Okay.
Level 1, Your Honor. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Nope. All right, and tell me the name of the daughter.
London Holt.
And if Ms. Holt is with us and wishes to address the court, now is the opportunity. Mr. Massageddin?
Thank you, Your Honor. On behalf of Mr. Holt, he is 53 years old. He is originally from St. Louis, Missouri, but has been here in Georgia trying to restart his life since he was released from incarceration. Your Honor, he, to that end, is raising his teenage daughter as a single parent. She lost her mother just last year to gun violence, Your Honor. So he's raising her on his own. He's trying to start up his towing business. He has all the permits. He has the truck ready. He's just about to get started with all that. And we appreciate Mr. Rhodes and the state's candor with this being an incident between him and his daughter over a cell phone, Your Honor. So we would also ask for Mr. Holt to receive a $1,000 UJR at level 1. And his address, I'm not sure if this is relevant right now for the court or he can update it later, but is currently listed as in St. Louis, Missouri, but he does have a Clarkston address here in Georgia that he resides at and gets mail. He just moved there less than a week ago.
Okay. It will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. I think one parenting class might be helpful. No further violent contact with his daughter, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Holt.
Next is position 15, Mr. Johnson. Sit first row.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Johnson. You've been charged in case 25 CR 005987B with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. 3 cycles. Last arrest was July 8th, 2024, out of Fayette County for possession of marijuana less than an ounce. He was sentenced this year under conditional discharge for that case, Your Honor. He also has a second case under conditional discharge from this year for possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and nothing further.
Yes, Ms. McGill?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident occurred yesterday, September 28th, at 689 North Avenue in Hapeville, Georgia. Just a little bit about the facts. The defendant broke into the Fulton County Teachers Museum, located at 689 North Avenue, Hapeville, for shelter. With that being said, we are asking for a $1,000 surety bond to stay away from the incident location, and to maybe meet with a social worker for housing. But that is all, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Massageddin.
Thank you, Your Honor. On behalf of Mr. Johnson, he is 22 years old. He's a lifelong resident of the state of Georgia. He's gone as far as the 12th grade, Your Honor, and is currently dealing with a bout of homelessness, Your Honor. He was told he can no longer reside at his grandmother's house in Hapeville. That's the listed address, Your Honor. He still can get mail there, but he will be talking with one of our social workers to see what we can do to find him a more permanent place to stay. He is employed. He has a job working at Church's Chicken on Old National, and has that job still waiting for him if he can be released, Your Honor. And so we would ask for Mr. Johnson to receive a UJR through the jail today for this criminal trespass.
Okay. And I didn't hear of any previous criminal trespasses. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so as such, it will be $1,000 signature bond through the jail, social worker visit to assist with housing, stay away from the incident location, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Next is position 16, Mr. Jones. Okay, Jones.
Good afternoon, Mr. Jones. You've been charged in case 25 CR 005989E with one misdemeanor offense. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. 3 cycles. The last arrest was August 20th, 2024, out of Sandy Springs for purchase, possession, or have a controlled substance in Schedule 1 or 2. No disposition was listed for this case, Your Honor. He also has a 2022 conviction, Your Honor, for the same charge on the calendar for today. And nothing further.
Presenting for the state.
I'm not sure if this case is mine, Your Honor. What is the position number?
16, Mr. Jones.
Deputy Rhodes, is this one yours?
Let me check and see here. I might have
I'm sorry, that is mine. That's my position.
Thank you. Yes, Ms. McGill.
Nathaniel Jones, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the incident location was 335 Winding River Drive, Sandy Springs. This incident occurred yesterday, September 28th. And it's just a little bit about the facts is that the defendant approached the victim. The victim's name is Adela Modragan, Adela, last name Modragon. So Modragan. He approached the victim while she was walking with her family. He was fully nude and only spoke to the victim about potential sexual activity. Given his 2 prior arrests for public indecency, we do suspect that he has a propensity to repeat this offense. Therefore, we are asking for a $3,000 surety bond, no further contact with the victim, and a stay away from 335 Winding River Drive, Sandy Springs, Georgia.
If Ms. Dragon is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Yes, Mr. Masajian.
Thank you, Your Honor. On behalf of Mr. Jones, he is 44 years old and has lived his entire life here in Georgia. He's a high school graduate and also has a bachelor's degree in sales and marketing. He received that in 2005 from Tuskegee University. Your Honor, he is currently employed working for a moving company and has been staying in hotels while he's trying to save up the money to find something more permanent. Your Honor, but he does have a good mailing address here in Georgia. We would just ask for Mr. Jones to receive a signature bond for his one charge here today, not to exceed $3,000.
Right. It will be a $2,000 good bond. No further contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from the Winding River Drive address. Wanting to have a social worker visit to assess for BHGT and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir. Mr. Masajian, I believe your client's going to need to speak with you, so if you wouldn't mind addressing him after court today.
I will. Thank you, Judge.
Next is position 18, Mr. Lawton. Oh, no.
Good afternoon, Mr. Lawton. You have been charged in case 25 CR 0059918 with battery family violence. Is there a history?
Yes, Your Honor. 12 cycles. The last arrest was with the U.S. Marshals in 2015 for possession of cocaine. There was a conviction. Appears to have an open case out of Chatham County for use of communications facility in commission of a felony, sale of a Schedule 1 or 2 controlled substance, trafficking of a controlled substance, and violation of Georgia RICO. In addition, there are convictions from 2009 for terroristic threats, 2009 reckless conduct, 2005 battery family violence and reckless conduct. Also, one conviction out of Florida from 2010 for domestic violence and resisting an officer, and nothing further.
Ms. Miguel.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident occurred September 28th at 2801 the Fontainebleau Southwest. This incident occurred against Jamia Lawton. I believe that's what her name is. It's alleged that the defendant and the victim were having a verbal dispute about cleaning the kitchen. The defendant then escalated the argument by grabbing the victim by the neck and choking her and grabbing her head and face, causing her nose to bleed. The relationship was her daughter, or his daughter rather. Given his history of battery and civil battery family violence in 2005 and the terroristic threats in 2009, and some other simple batteries that were not that weren't convictions. Our recommendation is a $6,000 surety bond to have no further contact with the victim, to stay away from the incident location, in a one-day anger awareness course, and to not consume any alcohol or drugs while out on bond.
Jamia Lawton is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. I would need for you to, if you do choose to, I want for you to unmute yourself and activate your camera for me. Yes, Mr. McLean.
20. I'm sorry. Was there audio? Okay.
Mr. McLean, are you with me?
Yes, Your Honor. He's 51.
Okay.
I believe the daughter is an adult. She's 20. He says she lives actually in Savannah at this time. That he resides at the Fontainebleau, but she resides in Savannah. So he has some college, Savannah Tech, drafting and AutoCAD, which I think stands for computer aided design. He is a truck driver, over the road and local both, so his company trusts him with a good deal of responsibility. He asked the court to set a signature bond on this if that's possible. I understand that one that was over 20 years old on the DV. Thank you.
It will be a $10,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Ms. Lawton. Stay away from her residential address. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Excuse me, can I say something?
Yes, ma'am. I called for you earlier. We sounded
I'm
for
sorry,
you.
I was driving.
Okay, I'll need for you to pull over if you're still driving. And I will need for you to activate your camera.
Okay. Okay, I'm pulled over.
Okay, can you activate your camera for me?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. If you'll raise your right hand for me and take out the gum. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. What would you like to tell the court?
I just want to talk about the fact that it was stated that I don't live there, which is not true at all. I do live with him. I visited Savannah for a couple months prior, but this time period and that time period before I visited Savannah, I've been residing with him and I've been getting mail there. So that is false.
Okay, so I have already issued a no further contact with between the two of you, which means that you won't have any contact whatsoever, which means certainly that you cannot live together. So he's going to have to find someplace else to reside if that's the case.
Okay.
Okay, so given that they live together, Mr. McLean, I'll order a one-time police escort for him to retrieve any belongings that he might have there.
She disagrees with his statement. Thank you.
Okay. Well, well, until they clear that up, then that will be the order of the court. Thank you for being here this afternoon, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Who do we have next?
Next is position 23, Mr. Rosati.
Good afternoon, Mr. Rosati. You have been charged in case 25 CR 00599 with simple assault and disorderly conduct. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. 6 cycles. Last arrest was January 20th, 2025 out of Sandy Springs, Georgia for a DUI. There was no disposition listed for this case, Your Honor. There's also an open battery family violence under case number 23 CR 006911A and nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Sulaco?
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident took place, this was September 27th of this year at 30 West Fair Court in Sandy Springs. Law enforcement responded to a domestic dispute call. Prior to arrival, they were advised that the over dispatch that the victim was calling, explaining that her ex-boyfriend had come back to the house and then threatened to break her door down and that he was in a manic state. Officers made contact with the victim here, Miss Amelia Blaska, who explained that the defendant, her ex, had showed up to the residence and began banging on the front door, attempting to gain access. He then went around to the rear, began banging on that. He stated, as he was trying to gain access, "Let me the F in, I'll bust your doors open, I'll choke you out." The victim explained that she was very terrified for her safety. He was also apparently intoxicated at the time. And it's also what added to that is the defendant had apparently broken into her house. I believe this was just before this incident. This was him taking off the cover of her window, manipulating the lock, and she found him inside the residence where there was a physical altercation wherein he pushed her and then broke several things in her home. But we're here for the most recent with the simple assault and the after accused disorderly conduct on the basis of the defendant's conduct on the 27th. Defendant was found on the back patio ultimately and was arrested on scene. The open case that he does have, the battery family violence, that was against a different female victim that was a live-in girlfriend whom he struck in the face, pushed to the ground, dragged her by her hair. That was sent to diversion only recently. I think it was within the past few months. He was required to do FIB and community service hours, and in our system, we don't have he's completed either. But this is another intimate or former intimate partner violence here. So we are extraordinarily concerned for the victim. Currently, the bond is set at a $4,000 surety, and that is just on the simple assault. We are asking for an additional $2,000 surety on the added disorderly conduct that was accused. We think the $4,000 originally on the simple assault was appropriate, and we're asking that remain set for a total of $6,000 surety. We're asking for 5 days anger awareness, no further contact with Amelia Blaska, stay away from 30 West Fair Court in Sandy Springs, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. If we could sound for, as well as random screens for drug and alcohol based on what she was saying. And the defendant's presumably open DUI. There was a 2025 arrest. We'd be asking for alcohol, drug evaluation and treatment and random screens. If we could, again, sound for Ms. Blaska at this time.
Ms. Blasco is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Mr. McLean?
Mr. Rosati is 45 years old. He is local. He does not reside at that address, has a 302A zip code residence of his own. Local high school, college, real estate broker license, and a member of the community with volunteer work. He denies the charges and wants me to emphasize to the court that he is completing that diversion that he's already in. He's on schedule. And he asked the court to consider a signature bond. If that's not possible, then a $1,000 or $2,000 surety.
She wasn't invited there. She was on the site. And regarding windows, let her dog out.
Okay, for the simple assault, it will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. The disorderly, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. Makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. No further contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from her residential address. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Would you, Ms. Shanika, you're gonna have to mute for me there, please.
Okay.
What he say?
Yourself.
Next is position 26, Mr. Tarver.
But they're all signatures on correct? Thank you, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tarver. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006000G with battery family violence and simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. 10 cycles out of Georgia. Sorry. We said 26. Clarence Tarver?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. 10 cycles. Last arrest November 3rd, 2021 for a probation violation out of Fulton County. There does appear to be an open case out of Fulton County for theft by taking and burglary in the first degree under case number 19 SC 172984. There are convictions from 2008 for aggravated battery, 2016 possession of marijuana less than an ounce, 2017 possession of marijuana with intent to distribute, and nothing further.
Thank you, Mr. Soraka.
Thank you, Your Honor. This was the battery family violence from September 28th. So just yesterday at 4627 Shannon Court in Union City. This was law enforcement had responded to a domestic dispute call and upon arrival made contact with the victim here, Miss Kiana Love. She explained to officers of the defendant, her husband, with whom she was living in that household, had gotten into a physical altercation with her that stemmed from confrontation over infidelity. And ultimately, the defendant had pushed her. She sustained, it was visible injuries that the officers observed. It was to her arms and her neck. There were visible injuries observed on the defendant as well. And we have spoken with the victim here. She confirmed the events in the warrant, explaining that this started with cheating, that the defendant hasn't been abusive in the course of their relationship, in their 8-year marriage. The defendant she is not in fear. She is done with the situation, but not in fear. And she has currently relocated to her mother's residence. They have 4 kids, and she's residing in a hotel. A 13-year-old, her 13-year-old ultimately had to pull the defendant off of her in this case, because this was after he had pushed her. He had apparently gotten on top of her as well. They do share a vehicle. He has taken the vehicle, so she doesn't have any transportation. She's having, it sounds like, housing issues. We would be asking for a stay away if she wants to return to the residence, but ultimately, the state's recommendation is a signature bond through pretrial services for the defendant to enroll and complete the FIB program, have no further violent contact with Miss Love, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. If we could sound for Miss Love at this time.
Ms. Love is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. So just so I'm clear, Mr. Sirocco, you suggested a signature bond and a no further violent contact. Is that right?
That's correct. We also suggested to stay away if indeed she is, like, it sounds like she is housing challenged due to having had to move out because of this. We would ask for her to stay away so that she can return to the residence if she so chooses.
Normally, I give a stay away if there's a no further contact. With a no further violent contact that you're suggesting, you would still like for me to issue a stay away from wherever she wants to reside?
That is correct, Judge.
Okay. Mr. McLean?
He is a high school graduate, and he does sales work for the last 4 years. He's been doing sales work. He is local, of course, and we would ask the court to go along with the signature bond. I'm not sure how workable it is to gauge, if she's not on, gauge at this time whether she's going to move back or not. That's all we have. Thank you.
For the battery, it'll be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. For the simple battery, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. Makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. No further violent contact with Ms. Love. I do want him to start the family violence intervention program. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Tarver.
Thank you.
Next is position 28, Mr. Ward.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ward. You have been charged in case 25 CR 0060011Y with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. One prior from May 4th, 2024 out of Clayton County for simple battery. That case was no cost, Your Honor, and nothing further.
Sirocco?
Yes, Your Honor. This was from September 27th. This was at 175 Piedmont Avenue in Atlanta. It's one of the dormitories of Georgia State University, the Piedmont North Dormitory. The defendant had been indefinitely barred from all Georgia State University property previously via criminal trespass warning that was given to him before, and he returned to the Georgia State property on September 27th. The state's recommendation here is a signature bond through pretrial services. Stay away from all GSU premises and property in accordance with the existing criminal trespass warning, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. As to whether he would need a social worker visit for BHET and/or housing, I would just ask the defense whether they think that would be necessary. That is all for the state.
Mr. McLean?
We're going to have him advised with regard to housing because he's currently residentially challenged. So we will do a social worker visit on him for that sort of advice, and ask the court to follow the state's recommendation on the signature bond.
This is really his first offense. It'll be $1,000 signature bond through the jail. He's to stay away from all Georgia State properties and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Mr. Ward, I'm going to let you out, but you can't go back to Georgia State properties, okay? If they arrest you again and you come back, you won't get a signature bond the next time, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Ward.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Next is position 29, Mr. Watson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Watson. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006002C with 2 counts of battery family violence, simple battery family violence, and obstructing or hindering a person making an emergency telephone call. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. 25 cycles. Last arrest was December 14th, 2024, out of Cobb County for possession of a Schedule II controlled substance and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. No disposition was listed for that case. There is an additional open case for robbery and battery family violence from December 4th of 2024. Under case number 24 PI 008910. In addition, there are convictions from 2008 for possession of marijuana less than an ounce, 2012 possession of marijuana less than an ounce, 2013 DUI, 2014 theft by shoplifting and reckless conduct, received first offender in 2017 for false statements and identity theft fraud. That case was sealed in 2022, and nothing further.
Mr. Sirocco?
Thank you, Your Honor. And if I could supplement a little bit, I do see other arrests for simple battery family violence and battery family violence. I saw an additional simple battery family violence case from 2021 that was against the same victim, was ultimately dismissed, I believe, due to mutual fighting and there not being a primary aggressor in that case. I also see other arrests for battery family violence from 2023, and then I can't remember if pretrial mentioned it, but there was also a 2024 battery family violence case out of Cobb County that was null prost. And I do see as well, he is also being held on an open FTA for, it looks like that was the date of the violation, at least, was August 16th, 2024. But this incident here took place. This was March 30th. This was at Interstate 85 and Sylvan Road in Hateville. Law enforcement responded to a domestic altercation and made contact with the victim here, Miss Khadijah Mateer. She explained the defendant, who is her boyfriend, they used to live together, had come to pick her up from work. She was working at a comedy club and she could smell the odor of alcohol in the defendant's breath. So she took possession of the vehicle and was going to drive him home, I believe. And there was an altercation in the car over why the defendant decided to get so intoxicated. And the defendant felt disrespected and struck her in the face, causing her to bleed on her lips and her nose immediately, it sounds like, and then struck her again also on the forehead, causing bruising and swelling. Officers observed these injuries, and the victim actually at that point attempted to call 911. The defendant grabbed her phone and threw it at the dashboard, and then thereafter, he grabbed the phone and threw it out of the passenger window onto a grassy area. This was all before a third party intervened and separated the defendant, stopping him from further attacking the victim. I will mention as well that open case, the 24 PI 008910, that incident was from December of last year. The robbery and battery family violence against the same victim here. There, he struck her, accused of striking her, kicking her in the face repeatedly after she fell to the ground, and taking her 2 iPhones. So not entirely dissimilar to this case here. There are some certain similarities between the two. Given the open FTA, his history of battery family violence and simple battery family violence cases, and that open case, we are extraordinarily concerned for this victim, the risk of reoffense here, and as well, I mean, there's a risk of him failing to appear. The state's recommendation is a $10,000 total surety, $4,000 on each battery family violence, $1,000 on the remaining counts of simple battery family violence and obstructing or hindering persons making emergency 911 call. Excuse me. We are recommending FFIB alcohol drug evaluation, any recommended treatment. No further contact with Khadijah Mateer. Stay away from the incident location. Well, I guess that wouldn't exactly work. The victim's residence, really. And random screens for drugs and alcohol. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And that would be all for the state, Your Honor, if we could sound for Ms. Mateer, if she is online and wishes to speak.
Is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Does not appear so. Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, Mr. Watson is 35 years old, has a Riverdale address. So stay away is not a problem if the court desires that. He has gone past high school. He's a local person. He's gone past high school in Clayton County to take down to Dublin, Georgia. He went to Tech College there, heart of Georgia, and got his trade certifications. Currently, he works for a dealership, a car dealership, and does various tasks, including working in the department that does the car detailing and prepping. He will explain away the failure to appear, hopefully at the appropriate time, but I did warn him that it is currently an FDA that is said to have occurred back in May 13th. So we would ask the court for the lowest possible bond. If a signature bond is not possible because of the FDA, we certainly ask the court to consider that. But if it's not possible, then we'd ask the court to consider something in the neighborhood of 1,000 or 2,000 surety.
For each of the battery family violence charges will be a $2,000 good bond. For each of the other charges will be a $1,000 good bond. Makes for a total of a $6,000 good bond. No further contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from her residential address. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Watson.
Next is position 32, Mr. LaCorn.
No. Then, if you don't make no.
Good afternoon, Mr. Withern. You've been charged in case 25 CR 006011A with disorderly conduct. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
One prior arrest, Your Honor, from 2017 out of Tennessee for simple possession, drug paraphernalia, and possession of a Schedule II with intent to distribute. No disposition was listed for this case, Your Honor, and nothing further.
Mrs. Rocco?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident took place, this was August 14th of this year at 1173 Alpharetta Street in Roswell. It's the Dossier de France, some sort of business. But the victim here is Miss Brooke, Brooke Jennings, excuse me. The defendant's another employee who threw coffee on her vehicle. The state's recommendation here is a signature bond through pretrial services. It sounds like there are some ongoing anger issues here from the other accounts expressed and what else was observed on video. The state would recommend 2 days anger awareness, no further violent contact with Brooke Jennings, no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond, and if we could sound for Ms. Jennings.
Ms. Jennings is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Does not appear so. Mr. McLean?
No objection.
A $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1, 2 days of anger management, no further contact with Ms. Jennings, stay away from the Alpharetta Street address, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Next, we have position number 5, Your Honor, at ACDC.
Okay.
Ms. Crawford.
Yes, good afternoon, ladies and Ms. Crawford. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. We're providing you with the assistance of a public defender this afternoon if you choose to utilize their service. Ms. Crawford, you've been charged in case 25 CR 005995J with battery, family violence, and 2 counts of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. 3 out of Georgia and 2 out of Kansas. Last arrest was April 24, 2019 out of Kansas for a failure to appear. There's a 2017 conviction for disorderly conduct, 2019 criminal deprivation of property out of Kansas. There also appears to be a hold out of Kansas for an assault case from April 4, 2025, and nothing further.
Who's presenting for the state?
I don't believe this is my case, Your Honor. Let me see.
It's close. This is position number 5.
Yes, Ms. Crawford.
Right.
What is the Crawford? That's not mine. Is that
That
Miss?
is it's Miss Sadie Crawford. Yes, that's my case.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. All right. Yes,
Good,
Mr.
Jimmy.
McGill.
Apologize about that, Your Honor. Yes, this incident occurred September 28th, 2025 at 6355 Oakland Road, Union City, against the victim Livings Milbury, who we already addressed earlier this morning or afternoon. They are boyfriend and girlfriend. The defendant and the victim were in a verbal dispute. Sadie Crawford, she threw Mr. Milbury's food in his face and bit him multiple times, including in his chest and inner right thigh. And then he retaliated by punching her in the back of the head and the side of the temple. And the altercation occurred in front of 2 minor children, Constance Pierre Louise and Olivia Crawford. Given her history, we are asking for a $5,000 surety bond, that she consumed no alcohol or drugs and possessed no weapons while out on bond. And I believe the 6355 is her home. So with that being said, we won't ask for a stay away from the incident location. But if that's not her home, then we will ask for a stay away from the incident location.
Mr. Massagian?
Thank you, Your Honor. On behalf of Ms. Crawford, she's 36 years old and has been living here in Georgia for the majority of her life. I can confirm that her address is the 6355 Oakley Road, so we would ask that there not be a stay away order. I believe that Mr. Milburn earlier indicated that he did want to continue to have contact, so we would just ask for no further violent contact between Ms. Crawford and Mr. Milburn. Your Honor, Ms. Crawford is a high school graduate. She's currently in school studying at an online university, Southern New Hampshire University. She's been doing that for the past 2 years, studying healthcare administration, and expects to graduate in 2028. Your Honor, she was employed. I believe Mr. Milburn or Ms. McLeod, his attorney, alluded to that. The alleged incident may have been born out of some frustration of Ms. Crawford recently losing her job. She was working at a warehouse here in Atlanta. She has been doing DoorDash in the meantime, Your Honor, while she looks for something that can provide more significant financial payment for her, Your Honor. But she is also a mother to 2 teenagers, 14 and 17 years old. They live with her. She takes care of them. Your Honor, we would just ask Ms. Crawford today to receive a bond not to exceed $3,000 in a UJR.
Okay, I'm gonna give her the same bond as I did for Mr. Milbury, which for the battery is a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. For each of the cruelty charges, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Makes for a total of a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with Mr. Milbury, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Crawford.
Position 30, Miss West.
Good afternoon, Ms. West. You have been charged in case 25 CR 006-003J with battery family violence and simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. She has one prior arrest out of Fulton County for theft by taking from April 10th, 2024. That case was dismissed, Your Honor, and nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Sirocco?
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident was from yesterday at 4120 Fulton Industrial Boulevard in Atlanta. It's some sort of complex with various rooms, potentially an apartment complex, I would assume. This one took place in room 303. Law enforcement responded to a physical altercation call, made contact with the victim, Miss Nayara Macon, who explained that the defendant, who is her ex-girlfriend, the two had been living together for the past 4 years leading up to this incident, had bitten her on the left forearm. There was a bite mark, bleeding and swelling that the officer observed. And this was after the defendant returned to the location. I believe the defendant was packing her belongings to leave the area and then had returned. The state's recommendation here is a signature bond through pretrial services. We are recommending FIB, no further contact with Nayara Macon. We have not spoken with Ms. Macon yet, but we would ask the court sound for her when appropriate. Stay away from 4120 Fulton Industrial Boulevard in Atlanta. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And again, if we could sound for Ms. Macon.
Ms. Macon's on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. It's not appear so. Mr. McLean?
Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. McLean, say it again. I'm sorry.
No objection. The conditions are up to the court, of course, but no objection to the signature bond suggestion.
For the battery, a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Simple battery, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Makes for a total of a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with Ms. Macon. Stay away from the Fulton Industrial Boulevard address. If necessary, she can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. West.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next is position 6, Miss Daniels.
Good afternoon, Ms. Daniels. You have been charged in case 25 CR 0059996Y with willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
No, Your Honor. This is our first arrest.
Yes, Mr. Rhodes.
Yes, Your Honor. $2,000 signature bond through pretrial services. Level 1 supervision. We're asking for no further violent contact with Kada J. Toney. Kada is spelled Cada, Ja, J-A, and then the last name is spelled Toinae. If the court is inclined to do at least 2 anger awareness courses, and that is the offer for now.
If Ms. Toney is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Mr. Massajuddin.
Thank you, Your Honor. On behalf of Ms. Daniels, Your Honor, she's 22 years old, a lifelong resident of the state of Georgia. She has a good address at the address on file, lives there with her grandmother. Your Honor, she's a high school graduate with some college under her belt, studying to be an electrician. at Atlanta Technical. She does plan to go back when she's more financially able to make that work. But right now she is employed working at McDonald's in Fairburn, Your Honor, working full-time at that job. As Your Honor already heard, this is her first arrest. And for that reason, as well as everything else that I've just laid out on behalf of Ms. Daniels, we had asked for her to receive a UJR through the jail on this one charge.
It will be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No further contact with the alleged victim. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Daniels. Okay, you done for the? All right, Officer Nelson. We'll see you next time. Thank you. And we seem to have a number of other people that are on the
Yes,
panel. Are there some announcements?
I have 5 waivers and 1 reset.
Okay, tell me the reset.
Reset is position 27. It's a behavior reset. It's a tremble.
27. Okay. And he'll be reset until what's that, October 1st? Wednesday. All right. So let me just go down the calendar as far as these waivers go. The first case I have is position 1, Fredo Archulus, charged in case 25 CR 006007E with simple assault, family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. 15 cycles. Last arrest was March 27, 2025, out of Roswell, Georgia, for criminal trespass and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Appears to be on probation for that case, Your Honor, sentenced April 10th, 2025. In addition, there are convictions from 2019 for theft by shoplifting, 2015, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, 2011, sale of marijuana, possession of cocaine, and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, 2008, possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and 2004, disorderly conduct. Nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. McGill?
Yes, Your Honor, this incident occurred on September 28th. Law enforcement responded to a 911 domestic call from Jessica Dockery, and at the appropriate time, I'd like to sound for her. At 916 Wood Creek Drive, Roswell, Georgia, 911 dispatch could hear a male voice in the background stating, "I will take you out. I am going to drop your bitch ass." When law enforcement arrived on the scene, they made contact with the defendant, who had a strong odor of alcohol emanating from his breath, bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, and was swaying back and forth. Once inside the apartment, law enforcement spoke with the complainant, Ms. Jessica Dockery, who stated that she allowed Mr. Achilles to reside with her for the last 6 months, and that night he did not hit her, but he got into her face, repeatedly stating that he would drop her, and she did fear for her safety and believed that he would harm her. Given his history of substance abuse, and his open case, we are recommending a $1,000 surety bond, that he undergo alcohol and drug screens and an alcohol and drug assessment, that he stay away from the incident location, and the victim in this case, Ms. Jessica Dockery, and that he consult a social worker for housing.
Okay, Ms. Dockery is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity. Yes, Mr. Masagida.
Thank you, Your Honor. On behalf of Mr. Achilles, he is 42 years old, a lifelong resident of the state of Georgia. As alleged in the warrant, Mr. Achilles was just staying on the couch of the alleged victim. He was homeless before then, and assuming he's not welcome back there, he will be struggling to find someplace more permanent to stay, Your Honor. So we are going to have our social worker come and talk with him. He does have a mailing address at the address on file, which I believe is 420 Cortlandt Street. Your Honor, he is currently looking for consistent work. He does some odd jobs here and there and receives food stamps. He has 2 adult children that he does not have frequent contact with, but they are local as well. Your Honor, we would ask for Mr. Kelly's to receive a bond here today, the total amount not to exceed $2,000.
Well, the state's asking for $1,000 good bond, so it'll be $1,000 good bond. No further contact with Ms. Dockery. Stay away from her residential address. If necessary, he can go back there on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond, and a social worker visit to assist with housing if necessary. Okay. I believe the next in line is the waiver is position 17, Jason Kellum, charged in case 25 CR 0059990C with loitering and prowling, PI, and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor, 32 cycles. Last arrest September 10th, 2024 out of Sandy Springs for a refund fraud. Appears to have an open case out of DeKalb County for theft by shoplifting. A second case out of DeKalb County that appears to be open for loitering for drug-related purposes, and 2 counts of theft by shoplifting. In addition, there are convictions from 2018, 2 for theft by shoplifting, 2017 theft by shoplifting, 2011 theft by taking, 2007 burglary, entering auto, financial transaction card fraud, 2004 burglary and theft by taking, and 4 other convictions from the 90s, and nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Miguel?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident occurred September 27th of this year at 514 Sunset Avenue Northwest, Atlanta, Georgia. The officer was patrolling an apartment building, and an off-duty officer who was hired by the property manager observed the defendant laying on the floor of the upstairs landing located on the rear of the apartment building. When the officer confronted the defendant, he refused to identify himself to officers and refused to leave the property once the officer told him to. Then after the officer lifted him from the ground, he unzipped his pants and began to urinate off the balcony. And he started to give false and incorrect information regarding his name and date of birth. Given the fact that he has an open case pending for loitering and also another open case for theft by shoplifting and the convictions in his history, we are asking for a $4,000 total surety bond, that he stay away from 514 Sunset Avenue Northwest, Atlanta, Georgia, and that he not consume any alcohol, drugs, and he stay away from weapons while out on bond.
Thank you. Mr. McLean?
Yes, and I do have a query. Is there a supplemental police report that states any false name that he gave? Because in a false name case, I've always seen what the false name is that he gave. And in this one, it said he refused, and then he talked to some EMTs and didn't want to get billed. And so the officer who was on a commercial duty, working part-time, was giving an alternate explanation as to why he wouldn't want to be billed, and that's why he wouldn't want to give his name. And he said finally he did, but they charged him with false name anyway, and that doesn't really make any sense to me. Also, the lewd exposure of his genitals when he was waked up and then urinated off the second floor balcony. It said that this police report specifically stated resident people could, it was an occupied apartment complex, but didn't really, it seemed to obviate the actual element that would make it in public indecency. So given that, we would ask for a signature bond.
Okay. For the loitering and prowling, it'll be a $250 good bond. For the PI, a $250 good bond. For the obstruction, a $500 good bond, makes for a total of $1,000 good bond. I want him to have a social worker visit to assist with housing and assess for BHET. Stay away from the Sunset Avenue address, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Okay, I think the next waiver in line is position number 21, Dontavious Mitchell, charged in case 25 CR 005720D with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. 20 cycles. Last arrest was for a failure to appear out of Fulton County, August 20th, 2024. Conviction Conviction from 2015 for possession and use of drug-related objects, 2016 criminal trespass, 2017 battery, and 2018 criminal trespass. Received first offender in 2016 for entering auto, and that case was sealed in 2022, and nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. McGarrel?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident occurred at the Chevron gas station located at 890 Cleveland Avenue in East Point. The incident date is September 17th, 2025. Corporal, a little bit about the facts. Corporal Foreman was patrolling Sylvan Road and near Cleveland Avenue and entered the gas station parking area and saw Mr. Mitchell at the front door panhandling. Officers knew that a trespass was notice was previously issued indefinitely by the location. For a little bit more on that he had a recent conviction under 25 CR 004493D. And as a part of that conviction, he was ordered on probation to stay away from this exact location. So with that being said, we are asking for a $1,500 surety bond that he consult a social worker for housing, and that he absolutely stay away from the Chevron gas station located at 890 Cleveland Avenue in East Point, Georgia, and to consume no alcohol or drugs while out on bond.
Thank you. Mr. McLean?
Thank you. He did waive his presence, of course, Your Honor. He has 10th grade education, has worked some jobs in the past, got his emergency number, social worker is appropriate for housing, and he just asked, he felt he didn't need to be present and just asked the court to set a fair bond. It's already at $1,200. We would ask the court to consider the lowest bond that would be reasonable.
What do you think the issue is, Mr. McLean, with this Chevron?
Alcohol.
Okay. It'll be $1,000 good bond. I want him to have a social worker visit to assist with the BHET or housing. Stay away from that Chevron on Cleveland Avenue, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Next in line is position 25, Harvey Skikes, charged in case 25 CR 006015B with theft by taking. Your history, Ms. Harvey?
4 cycles. Last arrest December 8th, 2023 out of Fulton County for failure to appear. There's also an arrest from 2021 out of Avondale Estates for entering auto and theft by taking. No disposition was listed for this case, Your Honor, and nothing further.
Mr. Siraka?
Thank you, Your Honor. And I have more of the same. I do see as well 2 other FTAs from 2023, and it looks like I think the FTA he's being held on currently also is, I think it's for that, it's for false acknowledgments, statements, that I didn't read the full name of the charge, but it's appears to be an open case 21 CR 00377 I think he's being held on the FTA for that. That is what that appears to the state. He's charged here with theft by taking, so not his first theft by taking case here, even though we don't have, we're not aware of what the disposition was for that previous one from 2021. This was from September 26th. He stole food items that had been delivered to 817 Gertrude Place, Northwest Atlanta, to a Miss Marta Perillo. And he was ultimately identified and arrested. He also said, he also admitted that he stole food off of Miss Perillo's porch. The state's recommendation here, given the FTAs, including that open one, is, and that prior arrest for theft by taking and entering auto, is a $1,000 surety, anti-theft course. No further contact with Miss Marta Perillo. Stay away from 817 Gertrude Place, Northwest Atlanta, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Fine.
Your Honor, he's 25 years old and he is residentially challenged at this time. He asked the court to bond at a reasonable level. Whatever the court thinks is fair. He is struggling with homelessness and worked in unarmed security, but he's currently unemployed. He has 12th grade education.
It'll be $1,000 good bond, a social worker visit to assist with the BHET or housing, stay away from the incident location, no further contact with the alleged victim, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Finally, position number 33, Quintavious Wyatt, charged in case 25 CR 006-005A with theft by shoplifting. Is there a history, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. 28 cycles. Last arrest was September 9th, 2025, out of Fulton County for theft by shoplifting. There does appear to be an open case out of Fulton County for theft by shoplifting, a second open case out of for theft by shoplifting, damage to property in second degree, an open case out of Brookhaven, Georgia for theft by shoplifting, obstruction, and an open case for criminal trespass out of Brookhaven, Georgia. There are convictions from 2025 for theft by shoplifting, 2 convictions from 2024 for theft by shoplifting, 2022 possession of tools, 2019 theft by taking, 2017 possession of marijuana and possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, 2014 possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, obstructing or hindering a firefighter, and 2012 burglary, possession of tools, and entering auto, and nothing further.
Mrs. Rocco.
Thank you, Your Honor. This was the theft from the Exxon gas station. It's located at 596 Chapel Road, Chappell, in Atlanta. He took 2 cases of beer and left the location without paying. It was 2 Corona 12 packs. The state's recommendation, given his history, I did see those. It appeared those were NOLOs, the ones that pretrial mentioned from 2024 and 2025, NOLOs out of municipal court. I believe all of them were. State recommends a $1,500 surety here. Anti-theft course, stay away from the Exxon at 596 Chapel Road in Atlanta, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond on account of his history here, the risk of reoffense, and yes, that's all I have for this case. Thank you.
Clay.
Your Honor, thankfully here we have a good local Atlanta address. It is his brother's address. It's the one at Odyssey on a Mall Drive. He asked the court to accept his waiver of presence and to set a bond as reasonable as possible. He did discuss with me the prior cases. So I think the problem here is alcohol as well, and that's all we have. Thank you.
There will be $1,000 good bond, social worker visit to assess for BHET and housing if necessary. Stay away from that Exxon, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. I believe that completes the 2 o'clock calendar. Ms. Bridgewater, whenever you're ready for us.
Okay. Once again, the reset date for the SAP calendar is going to be October the 14th. Position number 1 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. Position 2, SAP calendar with a total $3,000 good bond. Position 3 is reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 4, reset further notice with a total $2,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 5 is reset further notice with a total $5,000 SOB pretrial. 6, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 7, reset further notice, $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 8, reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 9, reset further notice with a $10,000 SOB through pretrial. 10, reset further notice, $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 11 is going to the SAP calendar with a $2,000 good bond. 12, reset further notice with a total $1,500 SOB through the jail. 13, SAP calendar with a $2,000 good bond. 14, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 15 is going to be reset further notice with a $1,000 SOB through the jail. 16 is going to the SAP calendar with a $2,000 good bond. 17, SAP calendar with a total $1,000 good bond. 18, reset further notice with a $10,000 SOB through pretrial. 19, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 20, reset further notice with a total $5,000 SOB through pretrial. 21 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. 22 is reset further notice with a $5,000 SOB through pretrial. 23, reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 24, reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through pretrial. 25 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. 26, reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 27 is being reset to Wednesday, October the 1st. 28, reset further notice with a $1,000 SOB through the jail. 29 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $6,000 good bond. 30, reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 31 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $3,000 good bond. 32 is reset further notice with a $10,000 SOB through pretrial. 33 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. And for the add-on, it's going to be reset to the SAP calendar with a total $7,000 good bond. Are there any questions, comments, or otherwise?
If not, you all have a good rest of your evening. We'll see you next week. Take care.
Okay,
You too, Your Honor. Thanks all.
Have a good one.
you too. Bye-bye.